I think it's working. Oh boy. I got a new camera, so I'm still trying to see how it's going to work. But if I can get it to stay straight, that would be super nice. Woo! Oh my goodness. I was trying to work on my setup for everything, but I was playing Amanda's live video while I was working on it, and I kept getting distracted. But I think this will just have to do, though. Nice. I've been trying to look into like better lighting and stuff, but I have a window that's right behind my computer. So I always just open that and it like looks really good while there's still sunlight. But then once it gets dark, it totally changes. Sweet, a lot of people are joining. Heck yeah. Hello everyone. I don't know why, I can always just say it here, but I still feel like typing every once in a while. There was such a big group at Amanda's live today, though. It was awesome. I kept on reminding everyone to hit that like button, and she got a ton of likes. It was cool. I think the most I saw was like 130 people was on her live for a while. That was really cool. There was, let me see. Oh, it's gone now. Sweet. Well, hello everyone. I feel like I got to get better at names. In my last one, I got teased a little bit for I think saying Denise's wrong. But there's a lot of names to try and get better at for sure. And I'm always bad with names. I always tell people that I have to say your name probably about 5 or 6 times before I fully can say I have it memorized. And I'm excited to get to all the comments and kind of like turn this into a back and forth chat of whatever you guys want to talk about. But there was a couple of things that I wanted to bring up from this live because I was super excited about my last video. There was quite a few people at the premiere of it, so that was fun. I know everyone's always got different schedules. I tried to have my premiere for my video at least posted, like so you can see when it's going to be starting. I want to do it a day ahead, but this last one, it was only about what, like 6 hours before it actually premiered, and I'm trying to get better at that. It's weird when I'm creating my videos, I create the storyline within a day. I like have the idea and I write out what are the main points I want to talk about. What's the most important things to kind of share in like my last one, my life update. What were the main things that I wanted to share? What was super important to make sure I didn't miss in that video in particular? And I got that all done in a day. I think I was done with that on Monday of last week. But then I was starting to edit that together, and that went pretty well until I started getting to the intros and wanting to like I don't know what's the word for it, like pizzazz it, I guess, a little bit. I wanted to add those video clips to it. I wanted to add music to the intro. I wanted to do different things to make it a lot more like I don't know. For me, it's just like when I tell a story, I have so many visuals in my head that I try to put them into the videos that I'm making. And it is extremely hard. Like that is definitely hands down the hardest part. Even though editing could take hours and it is tough. But it's very hard to get the right clips and the right like scenes to put together like intros and kind of a storyline to go along with it. Right now, it's mostly just random. Like I have like cool scenery clips that I got, or like I'll take clips from other videos that I'm posting on my Patreon, or that I even videos that I just have from a long time ago. I have some really funny clips from those, or like interesting things from different videos, and I'll kind of put those together. And so I've just been noticing that it's really tough. It's the hardest part for me, anyways, is getting the images or the visual that I want to portray in my videos into the videos, because it's easy to talk about it and to explain the things that I've been through, but there's so much more when you can just kind of see a little bit of it, like um, I don't know, in action, or some shots from different things happening. Just like within my first video, um, I really wanted to kind of show some sort of visual of like jumping out of a window, like because growing up, I had to crawl out of my window many times, and to me, that's such an important image to kind of like show to people. And so, in one of my first videos ever that I posted on YouTube, I really wanted to have that in it. So I just have a clip of me jumping outside of my window, and it's not very good quality. It's not the best, but I try to just add some of those visuals because to me that's super important. I love having those in videos because it's just that's what's in my head, and so I'm trying to get it like that into my videos, and it makes it take a lot longer and it's a lot of work, but I enjoy it, and it makes me so proud of the final product. Like, um, I don't know. My videos are, I'm trying to make it more of like my passion, something that I really enjoy doing. And when I have those clips, and when the video is portrayed the way I picture it in my head, it just feels amazing. There's something about it. And so I love when I'm able to do that. So that's definitely going to be my goal. And hopefully they get better over time, because I know these ones, I don't have anything for lighting. I just hope that it's bright and sunny outside when I do these clips right now. But over time, I hope to be able to put more time and effort into it, get better at it, and just to improve that skill. Um, so that's a little update about the videos that I'm doing, and where I hope to have them go. um, let's go ahead and dive into some of the comments now. Thanks for joining, everyone. This is kind of just a continuation off of Amanda's live now. Her live was really fun. I didn't see how long it went for, but I totally could relate to her when she was saying her throat started to hurt. Last Sunday, we went over 2 hours on my live, and my voice started to hurt by the end of that as well. So I totally understand how she feels. I agree with the comments. Everyone is just kind of saying hello at the beginning. I love that. I don't want that to stop. I can't say hello back to every individual, but I just want to say welcome to everyone. And I love all your comments. I love all your questions. Thank you so much for joining. And let's try to get into it. You guys had a lot of great questions with Amanda's, and she does such a good job at answering them. I try to answer some of them in the comments, but it is way harder to type out a whole answer than to just say it. So I don't get to comment on very many in hers, but I still love being a part of it. And I'll even ask her some questions too, which she didn't get to my last one because someone asked a question about the ratio of men to women in the order. And I'm really curious to what that is, because I'm fairly positive there's much more women than men, but that's tough to say because there's a lot of single men too. So I just don't know how big of a difference there is. So I don't know. That is interesting. I did want to get her comments on that one. Maybe I'll have to just ask her in her next one, or I could always text her actually. See if she'll respond. I wonder what she's doing now. Hopefully she's on my live, because it's always great when she watches my lives, and we kind of like share different ideas with one another, and that's always fun. Waiting to see what kind of paintings that come out. Oh yeah, I like that Amanda does paintings. If I had any skill at all in painting, I would definitely do some sort of painting and just have it as a hobby, if anything else, and then film it as well, because I think it would be fun. But I've painted a few times, and I do it to like relax and for fun, but I've never done a painting and then afterwards been like, yeah, this is great. This is definitely worth sharing with the world. I just haven't. I haven't had that experience yet. So yeah, it's definitely not my forte. Hey, Eskel, you and your sister are invited to my grandpa's 100th birthday party in June. Oh, wow. He's the Mason guy. I can DM you the deets if you want. You and Amanda can vlog it. Warning, he's a talker. That would be cool. I've never met someone that's 100 years old in person. The oldest lady I met is actually in my neighborhood. She's a really nice lady. I help her like rake her leaves and stuff. She says that she is 98, but when I talked to her daughter was like, "No, she's turning 96 this year." So she's not actually turning 98. But the old lady, she I don't think I should say her name, but anyway, she insists that she is 98, but she could have like Alzheimer's or something. So I don't know for sure. But according to her daughter, she's 96. So that's the oldest person I've ever met in real life. I saw your comment, Caroline. Renhart, I felt so bad because I stopped the live and couldn't respond. So I was hoping I could say thank you on here. LOL. Are we following each other on Instagram? Oh, that's from Amanda for Caroline. Yeah, Amanda ended her live kind of quickly. But I'm glad she's on this live now, so that's cool. I also paint to relax and totally relate to you on that. It's fine, Eskel. I can basically just manage drawing stick figures myself. Aw, thanks, Flickerfade. I'm glad people can relate. Definitely artwork. There's a reason why people get paid so much for artwork. It's not an easy thing to do. Not just anyone can do it. Hi, Eskel. Thank you so much for answering my question about the RH negative on Amanda's live. You are awesome, by the way. Aw, thanks. I like the emoji with sunglasses. That's cool. I used to work in a care home, and we had a resident who was 103. Really? Wow. I wonder. That's got to be fairly new. I feel like. Hold on. I'm just Googling who's the oldest person alive because I know the life expectancy is getting older and older, but it's like in the people are living to be in the hundreds now. I think that is crazy. According to Google, the oldest person living is Kane Tanaka, age 119. Wow. That is impressive. Yeah, I guess with modern medicine, people are living a lot older nowadays. Amanda Ray just followed Caroline back. There you go. Nice. My family has lots of people who die ancient. We had an uncle who died at 108 and an aunt at 102. Oh, wow. So, Caroline, you must have some really good like DNA, good family genes. Maybe you'll get to live to be that old too. That would be wild. I don't draw. I like to color. It's relaxing. I can do something neat and I didn't draw it. They're funny coloring books too. Nice. I did. There was a couple times where I did kind of a charcoal and a pencil drawing, and I was decently impressed by those, but they were very small, like just a really small little canvas. And I liked drawing not necessarily anime, but like my own version of cartoon characters and stuff. Those were fun for me to draw. The oldest person ever was 122, Flicker Fade. Okay, so the oldest person in history. They're probably not still around, but that's pretty old thing. I love that you and your sis come on back to back. Yeah, it's really nice. It was awesome being able to do it when we were together, like when we were on our last trip and stuff. So ever since then, we just kind of continued it because there's a lot of people already on, and so it just changes depending on who starts first, then the other person just goes after. And it works out perfect for me because I'm almost always on her lives anyways. So I'm watching it and I just get my stuff ready while I'm watching hers. And then I just go right after. I gotta go, but on the topic of girl order members versus boys, I think there are more women, but also we know single women over like 16 is rare. That's true. Yeah. There's definitely so Amanda Ray commented and said there's definitely more women in the order, but it's extremely rare for any of them to be single and older than 16 because they get married so fast. In the UK, if you get to 100, you can get a letter from the Queen. No way. Is that true, Naomi? That would be so cool. You live to be 100 years old and you get a letter from the Queen. Dang. That's gotta be that would be awesome. Dang. Also, why Paul is having those men's meeting trying to teach members how to higher the chances of having a female baby. Well, that's because they value women a lot more for sure. Like women are much more, they want more women than men for sure. That's why it's funny, because if you watch Joe's videos about how his dad telling him, well, you got to pay like $5,000 to come back to the order. And I don't know the specifics, but like Tom Green, I would not be surprised at all if he had to pay to join the order. There's some sort of a fee for these guys to join the order, but I would not be surprised at all if there was a single woman that wanted to join the order and they could join without paying any fee. Obviously, there's probably no woman out there that would want to, and that it's obvious why they would let them join for free, but it's just funny how that works. Anyways, I gotta go. Love you, little bro. Thanks, Amanda. Thanks for joining while you could, and thanks for your live. That was a lot of fun. Amanda Ray, I'm also following you on Instagram. Love you, girl. All right, bye, Amanda. Thanks for joining. You will be missed. Don't drink too much coffee. I hope you get to bed on time tonight. You definitely could use it. I feel like in my family, we all have a hard time getting a good regular sleeping schedule. We love like spontaneous things and just doing the craziest stuff. There was even, and we know it though too. That's why. Oh, hold on just a second. I think there's still something was on my camera lens. That's weird. We know that our siblings are just, we have the randomest sleeping patterns, and we like doing random things almost no matter what time it is. And so there was a time when Amanda was here in Utah, it was either 12 o'clock midnight or 1 in the morning. And she just texted me and is like, are you still up? And I was. And she's like, let's go get, or will you pick up these snacks from Walmart and just meet here? And I just went and got all these snacks at like 1 in the morning and met up, and we just had snacks and talked, and it was a really good time. It was fun, but it just totally screwed up our sleeping schedule for that night. But I mean, we were already up, and who knows what time we were going to go to bed anyways. So it was definitely worth it. It was a lot of fun. When I worked in a nursing home, I already read that one. Oh man, I got to catch up with all these. I do have good genes, but I don't want to die old. Our fam also has Alzheimer's issues and go nuts. I don't want to live past 70. I feel you there, Caroline. I always thought that like 80 would probably be the oldest I get to be. But I'm young now. I'm sure it'll change when I'm old, which is fine. But as of right now, like my thought on it is, and I don't want anyone to take offense, it's just I feel like it is what it is. I don't think it's death should not be looked at like as a super sad thing. I think that's a part of life and it's fine. And so I feel like the day that I can't like dirt bike or go skiing or do the things that I just love, that's the day that I'm meant to go. And I think it's okay. So I totally feel you there. Yes, I live in the UK. Only if you live Commonwealth or UK. So you do in Canada? What happens when a wife is unfaithful? Oh, I saw that in the last one, Katina. That one's tough because I do think it's a little bit dependable. But I don't know, especially if that does happen. The order is such a like hush hush environment that like that's not something that's really talked about. I mean, it's clearly said and taught that like that's one of the worst things you can do. Like growing up, I remember thinking that was the worst sin of them all. Like I thought that cheating or breaking the law of chastity, that was just the end all, the most horrible thing ever. But I don't know exactly what they would do. I'm not sure what. I've never like been a part of hearing about it or seeing what would happen. I wonder if Amanda has. But I don't know. I've never really heard people talk about that. I honestly, I'm not sure on that. My guess is that like, if you are unfaithful, it's very likely that they'd probably, I don't know, disfellowship you, or like you'd be kicked out of the group or something. I don't know. That's a good question. I do feel like it's very rare because you gotta keep in mind most of these order members are grown and raised in it. You know, they've been living this their whole life. And when your entire life is being told that breaking the law of chastity is one of the worst things you can ever do, I feel like it's that's not going to happen very often. I mean, I'm sure it happens, and I don't know. I guess I don't have the best answer for that, Katina. I'm sorry. That's a tough one, but I don't know. That is interesting. Maybe I'll have to ask around, ask more questions about that, because I definitely don't know of any personal experiences. I feel like that must have happened before. But all the stories that I've heard about, all the experiences that I've seen was when there's been like a single woman that wasn't married and like she slept with someone and then they just got them married super quickly to like kind of act like everything was okay, you know? So it would definitely be a very different thing if they were married and then they go off and sleep with someone else. Then I don't know, they can't just quickly have them marry that other person, you know? And especially like if they had a kid with that other person, like then you can't even hide it anymore, you know? Because my first thought would be that they would just try to hide it or like pretend it never happened or whatever. But then if they had a kid with that someone else, man, I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't be able to hide it anymore. So they definitely have to do something. But honestly, I don't know what they do. Sorry, I'm spending a lot of time on that question just because that one blows my mind. I don't know what would happen with that. Anyways. Barbados removed its queen. Yeah, I lived on Barbados for about a year, and they used to be a part of like under Queen Elizabeth's rule and all that stuff, but then they decided to be independent. Which I know a lot of their history, and even the people there, they know that it was a very bad idea. Like they should not have gone independent. And not to get all political or anything, but I talked just with a lot of the locals there, and it was just the leader. The leader of Barbados wanted to have more control and more power, and so they kind of cut their ties off with England and with their rulership or whatever. And so Barbados just does their own thing now, but it's really hard because they don't have that direct help from England anymore. But that's what I think is interesting is just the fact that Europe still has a queen, you know? They still have like a what is that? Just a rulership like that. I think that's kind of cool. It's interesting. And it would make it I feel like that makes it a way bigger deal. Like if I met President Biden, it's like cool, he's the president and everything, but it's not like he's a king, you know, to meet the queen of a whole country. Like I think that sounds a little bit cooler for sure. um Let's see. What if you won the lottery the day before your 70th birthday? That's a good question. I mean, that would be great. I'd still have 10 years to have a ton of money. That'd be cool. And I don't know. It would be a little bit sad because, yeah, once you're 70, you're way limited on the things that you can do. I feel like it would not be quite as cool. But I would definitely find ways to have fun with it, you know? We could throw the biggest cult con ever. Oh, I love that idea, man. Amanda brought up a good point. It would be really hard balancing it with order members and stuff. But maybe that's why maybe having it in Utah would not be the best idea. It would be the easiest because it's like close and it wouldn't be that hard to do it here. But if we had it somewhere else, like I don't know, California, Arizona, or somewhere farther away, then there would be way less chance of order members being there and just trying to cause problems or anything like that. But I just think it's such a cool idea. And I love that name, CultCon. I think it would be a lot of fun just having a meetup. I love meeting new people. I think it would be a ton of fun. I'll definitely have to bring that up with Amanda again because I'd be down. I get it. Like there might be older people trying to like give it a hard time, but I mean, I feel like I would still be able to make it fun. I just wouldn't let them stop us from having a meetup. You know, I think it'd be fine. We could still meet up. We could still have fun, and whatever they do, that's on them. You know, like we don't have to let them change our plans or what we're gonna do. A lot of young women with old husbands sitting around houses where that husband isn't even present most of the time. It must happen. Eskel, it's human nature. Flicker fade. Huh. I'm not exactly sure where you're going with that, flicker fade, but you're right. There's a ton of women with just a lot of kids, and a lot of them actually do daycare too, because it's one of the easiest ones in the order because there's so many kids, so many babies. Um, that I think about that kind of a life, and that's got to be tough. You're just home with 10 of your own kids, and then you're babysitting like 10 of these other people's kids, and that's just your life. You're just always home. Your husband's there maybe once a week, and I don't know, you just have to, I don't know, be okay with that, I guess. That's tough. That would be hard to like reflect on your life and think like, because I'm sure there would be moments that would hit you and be like, hey, I want to change, I want something more to life, but then you look around and you see where you're at, and it's like that would be super hard. Like you can't just pick up and change everything. You kind of already committed to all these kids that you've got responsibilities with them, and um I don't know. That would be really hard. Once you get to that point, I think that's why they get people married so fast, encouraged to have kids so quickly, because it is, I'm sure, so much harder once you're in that situation and start having the realization and understanding that this isn't what you want with your life. Then it's more like, it's not so much of like, okay, now I just want to change it. It's like, how could I even change it? It's like, that would be just so hard. I feel for them for sure. That's why I love that Amanda brought up in the last one. That's like, it's not like we hate all these order members. There's a ton of them that we relate to. We see ourselves in them. Like they literally are what our lives would have been if we would have stayed. And it's like, I want to help them. I feel for them. I want to do whatever I can to bring awareness to this, to do something that can help them, that can even just give them hope in any way. Eskel, I think you would be good at being rich. You would make a great aristocrat. Thanks, Flicker Fade. I wish I was rich too. I don't know. I have second thoughts on that all the time because I make fun of rich people a ton. I think it's just the worst that there are people out there with so much money that all they prioritize is like cars and just having like just spending on extravagant things and food that could feed me for months. They'll spend on one tiny little meal and stuff, and it's like, I think that's crazy. When someone has that much money, it's just, I can't help but make fun of them. I'm sorry. It's just not right. I feel like if there was a more of a distribution of wealth, it would help so many people. And I truly believe it would make a lot of those rich people happier because they're trying to spend it on all of these just rich, fancy things that they think are going to make them happy. Whereas when they touch the lives of millions of people with all their money, I feel like that would make much more of an impact. That would help me sleep way better at night. Like, I don't know. I don't know why so many people seem like they hoard their money. And it's just, I don't know. It's crazy. While we're on the topic though, I have been doing more research about the order, and I'm just shocked at how much money that they actually have. Because there's roughly 10,000 members, and according to Google, the order, the Keystone Cult, has a net worth of about $300 million. $300 million. So get that. So I was thinking that, trying to just put that into perspective. $300 million is what they know about. And, the order is really good about hiding that stuff, keeping it all a secret. So if the general public is able to find out that the order's net worth is about $300 million, I'm sure there's even more that they're hiding. But even if it's just that, $300 million divided by 10,000 people, that's $30,000. Oh, wait, I don't know if I did that right. But anyways, that's thousands of dollars for every single person there, And I just feel like they are they're scrimping, and they are telling all of these members to save so that they can split that $300 million, not just with the 10,000, with just the top 3 or the top 5, the main leaders, and they have the say in all of that money. and it's like hundreds of millions of dollars. It's just, I think it's crazy. It's insane. It's crazy the things that they'll put some of the members through to save money, though, when they have that. I hope order members know that that's how much money that they have. At least, like, I am very positive there's a lot of money that's hidden and, like, that's not known publicly. And so just even that money alone is just so much. It is crazy. Can we meet somewhere not really, really hot? Because, like, I'm fair-skinned and in fact, gonna need good weather. I'm with you. I get sunburnt so easily. My skin is, I think a lot of my genes, when I did the DNA test, a lot of it was Norwegian and like Irish, and just a lot of the gene pool that does not have the best genetics for skin. My skin gets burnt so easily. It is crazy. I put a lot of sunscreen on. I even put on lotions all the time, and like aloe vera immediately after. Otherwise, it hurts my skin really bad. So I agree. I think a meetup where it's not super hot. Arizona is probably out then, because Arizona is super hot. But Arizona has some cool places, though. That's why I say it's not super far away. It's really nice. And I know Arizona is known as being hot, but I've been to Arizona and the weather was really nice a couple of the times when I went. So I'm sure maybe it just wasn't in the summertime, or as a place in Arizona that had a higher altitude, something like that. Oh, dang. Also, I wish Amanda was still on, because I'm still drinking my tea from just a basic, boring cup. I have asked to get one of her cups, and she's just been so back ordered that it's taking her so long. And I feel bad too, because she's trying to like make all of these to put on her website and to have available for people to get. And I'm just like, I want one. But I definitely want one. I can't wait to get one of her mugs. They're really cool. Culticon, Las Vegas, call Matt for security. That'd be cool. Las Vegas. That's not too far away, but that's also close enough that, like, I think order members would go there. In fact, there's a story of one of Amanda's friends seeing the leader in Las Vegas, just running into him, and it was a little bit awkward. But I actually had an encounter recently. I went to one of the hot springs. There's a lot of hot springs throughout Utah and up closer to Idaho, and I don't know, they're kind of ranked like how nice each one is. I went to one yesterday that wasn't like the nicest. It wasn't that great, but I wanted to just try it out because it was one of the hot springs here. And I ran into some order members there. Actually, it was kind of awkward because I felt vulnerable with my shirt off and everything. But it really wasn't that bad. I don't think it phases me as much because I'm over it. Like, I see them at the gym, I'll say hi to them. It's like, whatever. They're just normal people, and like we talked about, some of them are nice. Like the ones I met at the hot springs, they were younger. They're I feel like the younger generations, they're not so like judgmental or like so like, oh, I can't talk to him or this or that or whatever, you know? Like the ones I met at the hot springs, they said hi. Like it was just whatever, not a big deal. But yeah, I don't know why it always just seems a little bit. I always think that they're going to do something, you know, something to like try to be mean and stuff. But I don't know. I haven't had that happen yet. So I just try to assume the best, hope that they're just going to be nice and everything's going to go well. It'll be great. It's whatever. I believe that the leadership of the order are extremely corrupt. See, yeah, I think that's phrased really well because it's the leadership. It really is, because there's a lot of good people there, and it's sad that I don't want to say that they don't see it, but they just see it differently. You know, they want to believe that the order is the right place, and these leaders get away with a lot of crazy things, and it's just not good. It's kind of crazy. I'm trying to think of more of those things to put in my video, because I'm definitely going to talk about the distribution of wealth, how the leaders, they just abuse their power in a lot of ways, you know? And I kind of want to talk a lot about like the what's it called, the way that there's like persuasion in it all, because it's not only like, oh, you can get money if you like please these leaders, or like they'll pay you off to do certain things. I think a lot of it is like they will make you feel important, they will use their power in a way to convince people to want to be a part of it, or to want to do things for them, to like manipulate them into doing things for them, to do their favors, to do stuff for them. And so I am definitely going to talk about that in one of my future videos with it as well, because money is a huge issue, but I think power is also huge. And like I've gotten a lot of like people talking when I talk about it and like discuss what are the main things to go over. There is a lot with like the women too, almost like how women are like traded within the cult and stuff. And so I definitely do need to do more research, because I don't know how that all works. Because essentially that would come down to like sex. I feel like they're basically, it's money, power, and sex. And I I I don't know. I don't know. I guess to me, it's hard to talk about that, because it's I don't like to even think that we live in a world where like sex trafficking is a thing. And it's really sad because that happened. That's still something that even here in America, in a very well developed country, we still have issues with that. And it's like, it needs to be stopped. It's crazy that, first of all, that's happening. That's still an issue that is being addressed, that is just happening in our world. And the saddest part about that is that means that there's people that are using that. There's people that are actually being a part of that, and causing that to be the issue. And it's like, that's crazy. I don't even like researching that. And a part of me is like, I think it needs to be brought up. There needs to be awareness of it. There needs to be things put into place to help it to stop. But it's crazy. It's so much harder to talk about that than to talk about the money and the greed and the power. Because it's just, I don't know, it's sad. All of it's sad though, and it is. I always have to remind myself that the purpose of this, the reason why I go through kind of like these sad emotional things to bring up, is so that it will make a difference, in hopes that things will change. Because ignoring it will only leave it up to fate, just chance. Whatever happens will happen. But at least addressing it, bringing it up, talking more about it will help. It will be able to make somewhat of a difference, no matter how small it is. Any difference that it makes will be good. So, yeah. Anyways, that's a hard subject to talk about, but it's one that needs to be addressed, and I really do hope that things change for the future, for sure. Let's see what else. They are raised into thinking they are supposed to slave away for the better life in eternity. It's very sad because none of us know what happens. I wish they would live for now. That's a really good comment, Brittany. I think a lot of order members kind of use that as their hope, because I just kind of want to paint that picture again. When you have gotten yourself into a situation where you feel trapped, where you feel like you're no longer in control, and you just, I don't know, when you get into that kind of like depressed, sad phase, and like just don't have that energy and excitement for life anymore, I feel like you get kind of desperate. You need some type of hope, some light to cling to in your life. That they do that. They look at the afterlife, and it's like, that's the brightest thing that they have in their future. That's the brightest thing in their life. And it's like, they have to hope so desperately that that's going to make all of this worth it, because they've already gotten themselves where they are. They're already in a situation that they feel like they can't do much about. And I hope that they know that that's not true. There's so much opportunity in this world. There is so many ways that they can change their life. They can get out of the rut, whatever that they are in. They can make their life as great as they want it to be. But so many people do use that thought of the afterlife, and that's kind of what they hold on to. And they postpone everything in this life. They kind of just let things happen and just go with the flow. And I'm sure it's different for everyone, but I know for a lot of order members, they have to believe that that's true. And even if they question, if they wonder, like maybe that's not going to happen in the afterlife, that would probably scare them more than trying to fix or make their life that they're in right now the way that they want it to be. And so a lot of people just turn to that, whether it's because it's easier or just because they want it that way. I don't know, but it's tough. I feel like you're exactly right, Brittany. I wish they could see the potential they have now and they could just make it happen. They don't have to wait. It's not a waiting game. This life doesn't have to be torture for them to just get to the next life and hope it'll be better. Low humidity in Arizona. High humidity is worse than heat, at least to me, from Joey. They're probably from Arizona then if they're saying we are not dissing on Arizona, Joey. I love Arizona. Like I said, it's a beautiful place, but I don't know about the whole humidity things. Some places have more humidity than others. I hear a lot of people from Arizona always say stuff about like humidity and heat. Like what she said, heat is better than humidity or whatever. They're both hot though. Like, I mean, maybe one is better than the other, but if I can avoid both of them, I will try to. I think that's one of the reasons why I love Utah. We have the 4 seasons. Our summer does get hot, but it's not for super long. And the fall we have fall time for quite a while, and it's awesome. I feel like the fall weather is the best. But I love experiencing other places too. Visiting other places is always fun. I can not get over the fact that flights to places are getting cheaper and cheaper. It is just amazing. I freaking love it, man. I love being able to just fly to Arizona, fly to California, go to North Carolina, go to these places that would take days normally if you're going by car, but you can get there in just hours nowadays. It is so cool. I feel like people who don't appreciate that don't understand what they're missing out on, how great it is to live in our day and age. We got so many great resources. It's like we got to use them. We can't just let them go to waste. Unfortunately, let's see. Can you hire a lawyer and sue out all of the options? So many lawyers are being broken. I am no lawyer. I do not know much about suing people and stuff like that. There is that girl, I'm so bad, Andrea, I think. She left the order and she's a lawyer now. So she is like my go-to for getting law advice, and she's pretty cool. So I love running things by them because even like me, I'm a firework fanatic. I love doing fireworks, but there's some legal issues with doing fireworks. I can't just go out every day and light a firework and celebrate and have the time of my life like I would love to do. There's laws. There's things that you got to follow and make sure you don't get yourself in trouble. So I like learning about it. I like making sure I don't get myself in trouble. But I'm no lawyer, so I don't really give advice on any of that stuff. So happy you made it out. Oh, wait, so extremely sorry you went through that. Oh man, it's so hard to keep up with all these chats. Trafficking is all over the world. I watched a documentary recently about where I live now. I watch 4 young girls at night to see they are okay. It's so scary. It happens so often. State to state trafficking. Yeah, Lulu, I don't get it. I don't understand why. If I was rich, I think that would be one of the biggest things I would be trying to stop. And I don't need to say that either. Like that's another reason why I feel like I get so on people with a lot of money, because I know that they're probably helping or like doing their own way of trying to make the world a better place. And that's awesome. But it's just shocking that things like this still happen. And you don't have to be rich, though, to be able to have a say and to try and stop things like this. I think anyone that puts forth effort and is just trying to make the world a better place, bring awareness to it, be there to help stop these types of things. I think that's what matters too. So never lose hope. I in one of the therapy session videos I did, I posted it on my Patreon because it was a little bit sad, and I just wasn't sure if I wanted to post it basically, and so I put it on my Patreon instead of on YouTube. It's basically a therapy session video that I did, just talking about some things like this, some of the issues in the world. And for me, it was really hard to think, like, is it worth trying to make a difference? Like, there's all these things happening in the world, and it's like, I'm just one person. How am I going to make a difference? How am I going to actually make an influence? And I loved how throughout the video, even though like I was questioning myself a lot and like I'm very unsure on a lot of things, I like that I came to the conclusion that it doesn't matter. And I want to say this for everyone. Like, it doesn't matter how small your audience is. It doesn't matter that you don't have a lot of money. You can't like start all these GoFundMe's for it. You can't do all this stuff to make a huge world impact. You doing anything that you can to put towards it is really what matters, because you're going to be able to influence people around you, and they're going to influence people around them. So any positive vibes or helpful influence that we can be to make the world a better place, it will affect way more than what you think. Because like that train reaction, like it goes through a lot of people. We meet a lot of people, and everyone meets other people. We all interact with one another. The differences that we make, we can never know the true effect that comes from them. And so we just can't ever stop. I think the most important thing is to always want to make that difference and to put forth effort to try and do it. Where do you live in Ohio, Caroline? I was thinking of going to Horror Hound Weekend in Columbus in a few months. I don't know what that is, but that sounds interesting. It sounds like a haunted house to me. I love haunted houses. Utah has a lot of haunted houses in October. The Haunted Factory is one of the best. I think that one is so fun. Let's see. Eskel, I visited Utah last summer and fell in love with the beautiful landscapes. Polygamy aside, it is such a fascinating place to visit. I agree, Sandy. It's a great place. I like Utah. I definitely feel like I'm going to be here for quite a while. And it's nice. The weather's really decent, I feel like. You get all 4 seasons. So with me and my family, how we love variety, I think that's something to really enjoy here in Utah. Let's see. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. A missing Utah girl was found in a truck stop in my town of Cheyenne, Wyoming this week. Aw, that's so sad. I feel like the news is also something that's hard to watch all the time. The news is so like, they're basically pointing out all of the issues, everything that's going wrong, all of the problems, and it's just, I like being up to date and knowing like what's happening, but watching the news every day all the time can be very depressing. It is tough, man. What else did I want to talk about? There's a few other things that I want to bring up in this live. I always get so distracted. Let me see if I can find them. I write like everything down. I love that Amanda talked about journaling last time, because I have 3 different journal books that I like to write my ideas, keep up to date on what I'm trying to do, what my goals are, and also just my day-to-day stuff, like experiences that I have, things that I go through, things that I just want to remember overall. Let's see. Okay, so I think we're getting, let's see. Okay, 49 minutes. Okay, perfect. So we still have, I think I'm going to try to go for 1 hour today for this live. And I think we've talked about enough sad stuff. So I wanted to go over a few of the, don't remember where I wrote them down. Let me see if I can find them really quick. Some of the awesome questions. Oh, I wrote down a few comments. When I was watching Amanda's live, she talks about coffee all the time. And that trip we had in New York, I made it sound like she had too much coffee and whatever, but I really did have fun. I don't know what all the side effects to coffee are, so I don't know when I should like start encouraging her to like calm down on the coffee and whatnot. But when we were in New York, it was a ton of fun because we were seeing everything for the first time. Everything was new to us, and she just had this goal to try to find all of the best coffee shops there. So it just turned into a really fun adventure. And I tried not nearly as many drinks at each place that she did, but I tried to get a hot cocoa at most of them, or like trying one of the unique teas that they have and stuff like that. And so that was a ton of fun. I really liked that. Um, it's just fun trying new things in new places, because even though we were ordering the exact same things at all these different places, they were different. And some of them were a lot better than others. And she actually has a list. She ranked all of the ones that she went to, which one was the best, which one was not so great, and which ones like had the best taste for the coffee and what she liked, and which one had like the best environment, like nice scenery and stuff like that, which ones were in good locations. And so she had a lot of fun with that. Yes, on a lighter note, always end on a happier subject. There you go. I like it. Coffee is amazing, but 1 cup is enough. LOL. I keep it light, though I avoid too much extra due to calories. LOL. That's a good point. I do wonder about like the caffeine intake, because I know she said, I think Amanda was telling me it's like 50 milligrams of caffeine in each cup of coffee. I think it is something like that. And I was trying to do more research on it, because I take a pre-workout sometimes when I feel like I need extra energy to like for my workouts and stuff. And one of them I have is 100 milligrams per scoop, so like per servings or whatever of caffeine. And the other one was, I think, 150 or something. So I was just kind of comparing it. Like, that's 2 cups of coffee or 3 cups of coffee. And I feel like that's a ton of caffeine. I grew up basically my whole life not having caffeine. I rarely even drink Coca-Cola and like any type of caffeine products. And so when I have them, especially in my pre-workouts, it like I feel like it turns me into a beast, you guys. Like, I have never had such amazing workouts before like I do now when I have pre-workout. And I try not to have it very often, because they say you got to have like a week of no caffeine for your body to like get back to being used to not having very much caffeine. So I like to just have caffeine once or twice. Well, I just take my pre-workout once or twice a week right before I want to do like a really intense big workout. And it is amazing, you guys. I think I could do a whole video about this, because I'm trying to get more into my physique, trying to be healthier, trying to work out more, eat healthier. And I have enjoyed going to the gym. And when I take my pre-workout and I just have my music blasting in my ears, I feel like nothing can stop me, you guys. Like, it makes me feel so empowered and just like a beast. I've lifted and like maxed my PR. I've lifted weights that I never thought I would be able to before. And it's just, a part of me is like, this is awesome and it's really cool. But the other part of me is like, this seems dangerous. Like, should I really be doing this? I don't know. But I'm at least going to try. I'll always try anything once just to experience it and like see how it's going to go. But I need to keep the right balance for sure. Let's see, pre-workouts can have a lot of caffeine. Yeah, mine are. When I went to the store, I told them like I'm not used to caffeine. Like, I need something that's like for a beginner, and they pointed out these ones with the 100 milligrams and the 150. And I was like, these are the low caffeine ones you have. Like, I can only imagine what like the maximum amount of caffeine that can put in a serving of pre-workout. And yeah, I don't even want to touch that stuff. I do not want my body to be super used to it. To me, it's just for an extra boost every once in a while when I just want to hit my max or just want to have that extra energy. Let's see. Those pre-workout powers have been causing heart attacks. Oh yeah, that's another thing. You definitely that's why I'm afraid of getting any of like the professional pre-workouts or like the super extreme stuff, because with my body being so unused to it, I feel like my heart could explode. My first time ever experiencing pre-workout, because before I like would avoid it. I wouldn't even like drink many soda pops that had caffeine in it, because I was like, I want my body to get used to producing natural um, energy, natural caffeine, I guess. I don't know if it produces caffeine, but whatever it does for energy, you know? And so I would avoid it all the time. But I had a roommate in Colorado that he was like super into working out. And he was a really cool guy. He was definitely like, you could tell that he works out. And so I was trying to get advice from him, and he showed me his pre workout. And he's like, dude, you got to try this. Like, this stuff is magical. And I didn't believe him at first because I had no experience. I just thought caffeine was just one of those things that like I want my body to make it myself. I I don't know. I just never tried it. I didn't really know how good it works. I've seen like the videos of people kind of going crazy. I thought it was a little bit of a scary thing to try, but I tried it with him, and he did not go easy on me. Like to this day, I look back and I'm like, that wasn't very nice of him. But he gave me the same serving of caffeine that he himself takes. And I'm pretty sure it's like almost 300 milligrams of caffeine. And I went to go work out with him that day, and I literally felt my body tingling. I remember like, and it wasn't just in like my fingers where like after lifting really heavy weight, sometimes my fingers would tingle, but like I remember my arms and my shoulders were tingling, even my face was tingling. Like I had so much caffeine inside of me that was probably the time my body was the closest to having some sort of a heart attack or something. I did okay, and I'm fine. I made it through it, so everything's all good. And it was a funny story to tell. Definitely a wild experience. I'll never do it again, but now I know I won't die from having 300 milligrams of caffeine. Even though that was the first time, probably the first time I had caffeine in like 3 or 4 years, and I went straight to 300 milligrams. And then I went and worked out right after. So I felt pretty good that day for sure. I had a hard time sleeping. Oh, that's another thing. Caffeine is really hard for me to balance in my life because I feel like I cannot go to sleep like within 6 hours after having caffeine. So I try to only take it when I'm having my workouts in the morning, because then I have all day for it to go through my body. Um, I am a substance abuse counselor. Caffeine can actually be diagnosed as an abused substance only if it is a problem. We actually ban coffee in our intensive treatment programs here in New York. Oh wow, Rob, that sounds intense. I know, yeah, anything, when people abuse it, like it can become an addiction. Like caffeine, I don't know if it's the caffeine itself, but yeah, anything that people just grow too much of a need for it, I can see that becoming a problem. Eskel, what do you bench? Ah, flicker fade. You had to bring this up. No, just kidding. I'm working on it. I'm just getting into it. My goal is just to be able to bench my weight right now. So that's not a ton. I weigh 155 right now, and I've been able to bench 150. And so I probably like my max PR would probably be 155, my weight right now. And so um I am still working on it. I'm growing that number little by little. It's hard though. I feel like everyone's telling me about, oh, you're gonna get these newbie gains, like when people first get into working out and you just gain more muscle than you would normally. And I'm like, when does that happen? Like I've been trying to get into this for like 2 months now, and I feel like it's so slow. Getting into shape is so much work, you guys. I don't know. I wish it was easier. I live off caffeine on days I need it to keep working night shift, but have to cut it off after a certain time or when I go home, I can't sleep. I agree, Emma. I feel like it's super nice when I have like assignments and I'm pulling an all-nighter to get all of my homework done, or like getting certain things done that I just need to get it done. And without it, I would just literally fall asleep at my computer or in my chair or wherever I'm at. But with caffeine, I can go almost all night and just get whatever done, whatever it is I need done, just done and out of the way. And then I can just sleep the rest of the day. Because when my work's done, like, then all I need to do is sleep after that. So it's great. So there is a very valuable use for caffeine. I think it's a good tool as long as we don't abuse it. Let's see. This is a random question, but how did your mom pick your name? Is Eskel a common name in your group? I've never heard your name before you. It's a cool name. Thanks, Caroline. Yeah, I love my name, but the funny thing is, it's not actually my name. It's a little bit of a secret that I keep. Um, it's on my birth certificate, but my real name is Derek Eskel Grant. But Derek is boring. I'm just kidding. No offense to any Dereks out there. But growing up, my mom called me Eskel because of her grandpa is named Eskel. And Eskel is actually a decently common name in Norway. And I'm part Norwegian. So that's kind of where it comes from, where I think my great grandpa, my mom's grandpa, got it from. And so I love the name, and I was always called it growing up, so it just stuck with me. And when I was old enough to kind of like make that decision myself, I was like debating, should I go by Derek or Eskel? And it just didn't feel right. I was called Eskel my whole life growing up. I don't even know why. Well, I guess I do know why, but it bothers me that they even put Derek as my first name. It would have been so much nicer to just my birth certificate, my legal name, to be Eskel Derek Grant. But they, for some reason, put it on paper as Derek Eskel Grant, and now I like Eskel more, and I've always gone by it, so I still go by Eskel. So that's a little secret about my name. If you go to school with me, like the people that you like on the rolls, they all call me Derek because legally I have to put Derek down. Otherwise, there's a lot of confusion about like if there's two people with similar names and all that stuff. So whenever I do legal stuff, I have to go by Derek, and then everything else I go by Eskel. So, anyways, that's that. Great question. A lot of people have unique names. I feel like I've been having a hard time pronouncing some of the names even on that come onto my lives. So I I like that. I think it's cool. It makes it more unique. You know, we're all unique individuals. So where I work as a substance abuser counselor, we have banned pre-workout. We had clients abusing it for the high they got from it. Okay. Yeah, I think having some sort of detox or like not needing to rely on it is extremely important. Um, yeah, I don't know. I like to think that I don't have any type of addiction to anything because I've always tried to stay away from those things. You know, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I've never tried drugs. I um even like coffee. Like I'll drink coffee every once in a while, but like with being LDS, then we're encouraged not to really have it. And even my personal beliefs, like I don't fully understand why the church encourages us not to have coffee. But me personally, I just don't want anything to control me in any way. And I don't feel like coffee would, but because it has like for some people, then it's definitely like a must have for them. And I just don't want that. I mean, I already have to eat food every day, and that's enough of a problem for me. I sometimes I feel like I'm addicted to food or even sugar, you know. I love sweets, and I don't even like how much that is like tempting to me all the time. So anything I can take out of my life that will make it easier to not feel like I'm controlled by anything, then I just do. Just because that's my personal preference. I think it's nice. I like that. And maybe I do that a little too much. Because I feel like I even do that with dating with girls right now. Because I I I felt like, man, in one of the videos I'm working on right now, I talk about how dating started feeling so much like a job for me. And it was just, I don't know. It's weird because I've dated a lot of really cool girls and I've had great experiences and it's been super fun. And there's been times in my life where I did kind of feel like I was obsessed with needing a girl in my life and like wanting to have that love and that comfort, someone there to like just be with all the time. Um, and I don't know. Right now, I'm just at a time in my life where it's like I feel like I don't need it. Like I'm happy. I have so much that I'm doing. I have things that I'm passionate about that I'm able to work on. I have just I don't know. I have so many things that I don't know. It's hard to explain. But anyways, I am also working on that video too. That one's going to be one of my hardest because I feel like I don't even fully know how I feel on dating, the whole aspect of dating. Like, for me, it was so awkward. And even just in general, not the fact that I came from a cult, it's awkward to meet someone of the opposite gender and to try and figure out how to get along and how to make everything, go well, and to just be happy together, like to work everything out. It's tough. And I feel like my dating life has probably been one of the weirdest I've ever heard of. And it's just, I'm not very good at it. And I don't know. I don't really have a plan or a vision of where I want to go or anything. So maybe that's what I need to do. I need to stop just diving into the videos and trying to just like create something out of it. I need to just write out like my thoughts on it and maybe have like a therapy session, like talk everything out about it, figure out where I see my dating life going and things like that, and then try and figure it out from there. Hey, Eskel, supposedly pre-workout is like cocaine. All right, that's interesting. That seems like an extreme comparison, but I don't know what cocaine's like, so maybe, who knows? Interesting. Flicker fade. Yeah, that's me too. I'm caffeine hypersensitive. Like a diet soda after 6 p.m. will keep me up after 4 a.m. Haha. True. No, I feel you that. I used to think that even like sugary lemonades, like when I have that right before I go to bed, that's like keeps me up. I feel like, I don't know, maybe my body's just weird about it. Like my stomach, it can handle things. I can eat the randomest weird things all the time. But when it comes to like um my sleep schedule, I feel like the littlest of things will just upset it or like throw me off or make it super hard to sleep. I don't know why, but all right, your body weight is respectable. Well, it's a baseline of respectable, but still. Okay, I don't know what you mean by that, Flicker Fade, but now you should post how much you can bench and what your weight is, because I don't think it's impressive to bench your own weight. I feel like that's just something that like that was my first goal. I'm no bodybuilder or anything like that. But if I am gonna try to get into good shape, I think one big thing is to just be able to at least bench your own weight. That was a goal of mine at least. Hopefully it'll be beyond that. I do plan on gaining a little bit of weight. That's my goal. I want to get to be about roughly 160, I'd say, maybe 165. But I want it to be decently low body fat percentage. But anyways, Flicker Fade, if you dare to put yours, then post how much you can bench in your weight, because I'm curious if it's like how much more than your own weight you can bench. You sound like you can bench a lot if you're asking these questions. So, Emma Word, before midnight is my cutoff. Is that for caffeine, probably? That seems like not a very good cutoff because depending on when you go to sleep, I guess. But if you have your last cup of caffeine at midnight, then for me, I wouldn't be going to sleep till like 4 or 5 a.m. So, Priscilla Tucker just messaged me on YouTube. Congratulations, Dominic. That's cool. I think Priscilla is starting to work more on her YouTube channel, so I think that's cool. Let's see. I bet that's annoying when people call you Derek. Yeah, and it's also spelled really weird. Well, not weird. To me, it's normal, but it's different than what most people spell Derek. It's just Derik is what it says on my birth certificate. My name is pronounced Flicker Fade. Okay. Was I saying it wrong, Flicker Fade? Flicker Fade? Oh, Flicker Fade. Like Flicker Fade, or Flicker Fade? Huh. Flicker Fade because you're on fleek. Oh, fleek. Okay, I see. Flicker Fade. Oh, sorry. I was thinking of like flick. My bad. See, this is what I mean. I need to practice saying things better, which is why I love that I see so many of the same people on these lives. I think that makes it a lot easier than if it was changing all the time. But that's cool. Fleeker Fade. Okay, I'll try to make sure I say that right from now on. Did the order celebrate St. Patrick's Day? Yes, they did. I feel like we celebrated most holidays. I don't know, all the big ones, anyways. St. Patrick's Day, at least for my family, we'd always put food coloring in the milk. I don't know why that was a tradition, but we just tried to make what we could green. So we'd put green food coloring in the milk. Sometimes we'd make green pancakes or things like that. Um, just meet someone who you can be weird with. Hee hee. Pre-workout hurts my tummy. Okay, that's true. I need to find someone that I can be weird with and it doesn't scare them away. That's the hard part. Because, I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's pretty easy to be weird, but it's hard to find the right person. When I was your age, I weighed 163 and benched 245. Are you for real, Speaker Fade? I feel like that's impressive. But why did you have to say when you were my age, though? Well, what's changed, huh? Since I'm older and hurt my back, I don't go hard anymore. Oh, that's tough. So I hope you didn't hurt your back from like lifting weights or anything like that, because that's the last thing I want to do. I want to get in good shape, but I hate when I see people putting like just like that, hurting themselves. I feel like some people take weights and like working out so extreme that they really do. They're beating up their body. I don't want to do that. I hope that's not what you did, Fleeker Fade. But that seems impressive. My goal for years was to get 275, and I never occurred. 275, but you got 245. That is insane. So that's like, so you weighed 160 and you're able to get 245, dude. That is so much. That is, let's see if I can do the math really quick. I'm not the best at doing math, so I'm just going to do the 245 minus the 163. So that's 82 pounds above your weight. So I would have to do 150 plus 82. I'd have to do 232 to get 80 pounds above my weight. That is crazy. Finally on break from work. So happy you used my evening tea with Eskel idea. Thanks, Nicole. Yeah, I definitely need to credit that. I feel like there is a lot of people I need to give credit to all the time. I really like that name. Evening tea with Eskel. I feel like that suits me really well. I kind of forgot that it was Nicole, but thank you so much for reminding me. I love when people give new ideas or like share things that I can put into my videos, because creativity, I feel like, is also a very valuable skill, something that I feel like I have it sometimes. Like, it comes and it goes for sure. But I also wanted to thank Melissa, Casey, man, see, I really need to learn this one. Enuma. I want to say like Enuma or something, Enuma, but I don't know the proper way to say that one. But I wanted to thank them, as well as Veronica, Jennifer, Lulu, Lark, and Alice. Yeah, I am trying to. Man, I just lost my train of thought. But anyways, thanks you. I really love it when people are able to join my Patreon. I want to somehow like do in some of my videos, list off the names of all the people in my Patreon, and just the names that I can remember, people that like come to my lives all the time, everyone that like supports these videos, my YouTube channel, and just in general supports bringing awareness to people that leave cults and being able to just try and make a difference in the world. I think it's amazing. I know it's not easy. I know everyone's got jobs, everyone's got things that they're doing all the time, and it's just super nice to see that people are willing to take time out of their day to come to these lives, to like and subscribe, to just be a part of wanting to share and wanting to learn more about this, and to I don't know, just kind of be a part of my life and my sister's life, and to be here with us. I think it's awesome, and I really do appreciate it. And I like the whole idea of like being able to be more of like a community. Um, I always have all these different ideas of different videos I want to do or different collabs and stuff. And I love hearing you guys' feedback. Oh man. My voice is starting to hurt a little bit. Hey, Russ made it. Welcome, Russ. Dang. I think I'm probably going to have to call it. I'm doing the same thing, though. I feel bad, Russ. My sister was saying in her live that it's the worst when we're about to finish the live and then people join and say, hey. But we are over an hour. It's been decently long, but this was good. I feel like this one, my mind's been all over the place. I feel bad. I need to organize more of what I want to share and kind of like what I want to discuss with you guys. Today, though, was a little bit of an off day. I was all over the place because I stayed up way too late last night, and I didn't have a lot of time to like organize everything. Even with my setup today, I was setting it up last minute, and it was kind of crazy. Dana, what do you do for work? You got to watch my last video, my life update. Then you'll have answers to a lot of the questions that I get from new people. People that stay up to date and watch all my videos, though, hopefully I'll be able to answer all of your questions in the series. There's some that I don't want to answer yet because I'm making videos. It's fine. I mean, I can answer them and I'll still make the video and you'll just hear it twice. To me, that's no big deal. But I'm excited for these videos to kind of catch you all up to date on the details, because my last video was very brief, just talking about the general things that happened throughout when I left the cult to where I'm at now. But it does talk about where I'm working now, the new jobs that I've had, different experiences that I've gone through. And now I'm working on specific series. Like one of them is titled My First Kiss. And I'm talking about what it was like getting into dating and what it was like, kind of like working up the nerve to have that first kiss, and even my beliefs on it too, because I truly believed that I wanted to save my first kiss for my wedding day for the longest time. And a part of me was like fighting with myself, like I that's something that came from me from the cult, and I didn't feel like that was truly me, and I wanted to believe differently, and I wanted to experience kissing a girl before having to wait till my wedding day, And so in my video, I'm probably going to title it that, My First Kiss. I go through a lot of that, and I actually read from my journal some of the things I was thinking and the in the present moment experience, what it was like and all that. So that's something to look forward to. So I think I'm going to leave you guys on that note. So look forward to my videos. I'm trying to post them every Saturday and then do lives every Sunday. On Patreon, I'll probably do lives in the middle of the week, I'm guessing. I guess it just depends. I might have like a vote or something, see who the people on my Patreon, what time or what days I should try to have a goal for. But I'm definitely having a lot more fun. I really do put a lot of time in these videos. I love doing them. The hardest part for me is just making sure that they are something I can be proud of, I guess, because I get the videos idea all out and I filmed the storyline and the part of me talking very quickly within a day or so. But then creating the intros and creating the visuals and trying to make it, I'm trying way harder to put more clips in them that are interactive and things actually happening. And that's the hardest. But it'll get better over time. And so sorry if they're super cringy at first. I know this next one I'm working on, it made me cringe, and there's so many scenes that I've deleted and already taken off and had to refilm them and stuff, but I'm just like, it's too much work to get it exactly how I want. So I know a lot of it's going to be cringe, but they made me laugh a lot. So I hope they'll make you laugh. I hope they'll be interesting and engage people and help to really paint the picture of what I'm trying to get across in them. And yeah, so that's really my goal. But thank you all so much for joining. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a great day. I hope to see you all next Sunday as well. And this Saturday, I should be having a video premiere. And it's really fun having you all at the premiere, because then I'll be able to talk with you guys during the video and answer more questions and things like that. But even if you can't make it during the premiere time, I hope you guys watch it. And I hope you guys like it. And yeah, thank you so much. I hope you all have a great day. See ya.